Hello, everyone. This is Brian Anthony, otherwise known as Truth Seeker, because I seek the truth. I'm feeling very fortunate, very, very fortunate that I've been able to have the opportunity to build a Porsche 914 6. So it's a 911 flat six cylinder engine into a platform of a 914 6 GT car. And you can see right behind me the hips, the sexy hips that make a 914 GT a GT car. So what we have here, this is my project that I've been working on for 2.5 years. The first year that I got it, what I did was, it was a 2.0 1975 Porsche in pretty damn good condition. The rockers were clean. I do have hellhole problems. I did have problems with some rust underneath the dash where the mice were creating a nice little nest. But overall, for a 914, it was pretty clean. What I've had to do is replace the floor pans, and it's only been the back half of the floor pans that I've had to do, where the seats are. The front parts were salvageable. I've had to do a little bit of patching here and there, but for the most part, the main floor of the cabin was solid. As you see it right now, I got it stripped down to metal. It's been like that for a while. So when I first got it, it was a silver 914 2.0 EFI, and I always want to have my projects running, and then I could just piecemeal it together. I don't like, and I'm not comfortable with getting a project and stripping it down to nothing and not have a running project. So I'm pretty deep in this project at this point. So we got it on a rotisserie. Tire suspension is broken down. So you know what? Let's go underneath. The floor is done, which is awesome and looks gorgeous. So let's take a look here. You can see underneath the engine area, that is done. So I'm doing frame stiffeners on the rear, so I still have to do that piece. But you can see here, this is epoxy coated with two coats of epoxy coat. The front has been louvered and two coats of epoxy. I still need to get the rest of the tar out of the wheel wells and do the stiffener kits before I put the epoxy on there. But overall, we're moving right along. You can see right here, underneath my dash, I never wanted to get this deep. All the electrical is pulled out. The gauges, when I was pulling the wires off the gauges, I was like, oh, that's gonna be a lot of time, a lot of debugging, a lot of troubleshooting. But cool thing about having a 914 is that you resource the community, and luckily in the Northwest, I do have resources that I can ping. So all the windows have been pulled out, the doors have been pulled out. Middle motors out of Oregon. I purchased these stiffeners, and then I also made sure that my clearance was correct per factory between the roll bar and the front windshield. So that's pretty important. I am going to put the doors back on there and just make sure that they close nicely to make sure everything's all good before I start putting the stiffener kit on there, the GT stiffener kit. So we are putting a 2.7 liter 911 SC engine in this, and that I resourced out of a California 911. And originally it came out, it had a CIS fuel injection on the engine, and you know, it would have been great to put that in there, but I decided that, you know, we're going to carb it, because CIS is pretty restricted on the fuel and air on that system. So I wanted it a little bit more peppy, and I wanted the sexy carburetors on there, and I wanted to hear them, you know. I will dig deeper into the engine later on, but this is how she stands right now. So I've been resourcing kits or parts, not really kits, from Ben McFarland and Rich up north here in Washington. They've been a great resource. So the community is tight and very small, and you're like one person away from knowing everybody in the entire 914 world. And that's funny because 914 World is the name of the community and the group that you can get on the forum and get all the information that you need, and then also on Facebook. Wow, look at that. Is that gorgeous? Yeah, the bare metal without rust, that's huge. I decided to not pull out the electrical entirely. It's sitting here in the bag. So yeah, 914 World I've been a part of. This is my second 75 914 2.0. I'm doing everything to this that I wanted to do with my first one. Okay, so let's go look at the engine. So let me go get the lights so we can shine on that puppy. Yeah, so we're in my basement. I was in a facility called the Shop in Seattle, downtown. But because of the corona, I had to move my project to my house, which my garage is small, as you saw, but it works. It's working out. Anyways, all right, back to the 914 911 flat 6. So what we have here is, and it's kind of bright with the light on it, is a 911 engine, flat 6, 2.7 liter. You can see that we got some nicely rebuilt Zenith carbs. They're not Webers. They're the same as Webers, but they're actually Porsche Zenith carburetors. And so the green shroud is the factory shroud. Basically, this is a factory 911 2.7 liter engine. It has been reworked. What we have as far as the we have the heat exchangers from Ben McFarland. He crafted those. We're going to go with the Patrick Motorworks engine mount, which is not on the car yet. And then as far as exhaust, we are going with the GT exhaust. Down here, we are going with the Ben McFarland oil cooler and nefarious parts from Amazon, all AN fittings, that I decided to go with. And then the front oil cooler is going to be a 8066 CFF. Basically, it's a RX-7 front oil cooler as far as size and specifications. And then also we got on the Ben McFarland, we have the engine tin for the 914-6 conversion. There's a lot of parts when you're doing a conversion. It's almost endless. So also I resource it, the oil cooler filler for the oil cooler from Ben McFarland. He's been a great resource. He's a great resource for the community. So also the air filters are K&N air filters, which I probably wouldn't do those again. Only because when I purchased it, I thought I was going to get both of them at $200, but come to find out it was just one for $200. So double that, and it's $400 for the K&N oil filters or carburetor filters and covers. And so there's other kits out there for half that price. As far as the oil cooler kit, you can go with the Patrick Motorsports route and get their kit, but I was able to resource all the parts for half the amount. But when you do that, you have to do your homework and get all the AN fittings yourself, and resource the oil filter and all the AN fittings, AN hose. So it's quite the list that you have to resource, but it is doable. I can help anybody that wants to go that route. Anyways, peace out. It's Brian Anthony, True Seeker, 914-6 GT conversion. Peace out. I feel very fortunate and that I'm able to do a build like this. I'm deep. I'm very deep. If you have questions, hit me up.